Welcome to the Vapor Chronicles.
Hello everybody and welcome back to this edition of the Vapor Chronicles. Another review for SMOK Tech. This is the TFV4 tank and it is a cloud machine. This is not for your mouth to lungers yet because the coils are not for that. If you like a single coil or dual coil RBA section, I believe this is the best in class that's available right now for a Clearo/RTA setup. Huge juice channels, great airflow, and it's a really solid package. You also get a ton in this kit. You get a triple vertical coil, you get a quad vertical coil, and you get the RBA section with a spare glass and a black screwdriver. You'll see that in the up close. This was sent to me by SMOK for free for the purpose of this review, and I have been really frustrated. I received 2 of these tanks about 3 weeks ago, and I've been keeping my mouth shut. I had a couple little reveals on some videos that I did, but I've really been wanting to show you guys this tank because I think it's a game changer for the cloud group, for people that like to produce a lot of clouds, for people that like good flavor, easy top fill, lots of juice capacity, good looking, good build quality. It's a win really on most accounts. Who it's not a win for is for your pockets, because this thing sucks juice like it's going crazy. Bring your juice budget game because you're going to need it because this thing is thirsty. Anyway, let's dive in. We'll break it down. I'll share everything about it, and then we'll wick up that RBA, take that for a vape, take the quad vertical coil for a vape, and then we'll finish this review. All right, guys, let's dive in. All right, so here is the outside of the SMOK TFV4 triple coil cloud machine, it says. You hear that? Do not eat. RBA base, quad vertical coil, spare glass section, Phillips head screwdriver, not blue, thank the Lord. Spare spacer for your juice flow. Alright, so let's run down some specs and features. You have your drip tip, top cap, glass tube, coil head, airflow slot, and base. The material is made out of glass and stainless steel. It has 510 threading. The height is 70 millimeters. The diameter is 24.5 millimeters. Capacity is 5 milliliters, and the weight is 92 grams. 4 types of coil heads to meet your different vaping demands. They do use 100% pure organic cotton. The 4 coil heads are the TFQ4, which is the quadruple coil. It's a 0.15 resistance from 40 to 140 watts. TFT3, which is the triple coil, 0.2 ohm resistance, 40 to 130 watts. The TFR1, which is a single coil rebuildable atomizer, 0.85 ohms, and the TFR2, which is a dual coil, 0.25 ohm rebuildable atomizer. Now they are also going to have more interchangeable coil heads available in the future besides those. The drip tip does have a double layered structure. There's a 1 or 2 millimeter spacing between the outer and the inner tube, which can be a heat shield to prevent the outer tube from overheating. It does have adjustable airflow. There are 4 airflow slots total on the drip tip and 4 airflow slots on the bottom of the base. It does have a top refill system, and that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at the tank itself. This tank is heavy, really solid feel. As you can see here, smoke is etched into the top here. This is your adjustable airflow control. So you can pretty much set it anywhere you want, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 openings. The drip tip is removable, so if you wanted to use a non-airflow drip tip, you could. Here's another drip tip here if you wanted to, and that fits right in there. But this one I find does really help keep it your lips from getting burnt or getting too hot. So there's your drip tip. And as long as I close this off, because I hate airflow on my drip tip, it really doesn't bother me, and this is pretty snug so it's not too loose. Now filling this device is really, really easy. I usually close off the airflow control on the base, but if you leave it open, you can see there's one large hole here, one here, one here, and one here. But I close it off, and then to fill, you would just, you can see on the top here, there's a little arrow. And all you do is you just push right here and it separates, see that? And then you fill right here. This is a little rubber gasket so it doesn't leak. And then when this closes, it sort of snaps underneath here, and the metal's bent a little bit, and that sort of clips it in place. It's not super tight, but it's tight enough that it's not going to open easily. I wouldn't, maybe if you sat on this or something, it might pop open, but it's a lot tighter. I had a previous version, which was this one here, and this just opened freely. There was nothing holding this on at all. But this one, you have to sort of push, and then it snaps. Okay? If you want to be sure and you don't want it to come open, you could still use these little bands that they give you, and you could slide this over the top here for a little bit more security. But having to slide this off every time you vape, to me seems like sort of a pain in the butt, because it's top fill. Top fill is meant to be easy, having to slide this down and then get it all centered again, I'm too particular for that. So I think this will be tight, but if it does come loose, post on my Facebook or Instagram or something like that for you guys. Here's your 510. Now to open this, you just grab the base and unscrew counterclockwise. This would be the changer coil head. The coil head is threaded on the top here, and it does screw into the chimney. So you don't want to bottom fill, you only want to top fill. You also want to be careful with all the little O-rings. Like you can see on the chimney, there's a little O-ring there. So you want to be careful. This is the vertical coil here from SMOK. You can see that it's a tri-vertical coil. Huge, huge coil head. Just to give you an idea, here are the brand new Aspire coil heads for the Triton tank. Okay, and here is this. So there's no comparison, I mean. It's just a monstrous, monstrous coil head. And even the smaller one, which is the vertical one, is still huge. So you can see, here is the quad vertical. This thing vapes at 140 watts, and I've been vaping it all week, so I'm positive it does. And last but not least, this is the RBA head. So you can see huge juice openings here at the bottom. Huge. Huge airflow. So to take this off and expose the deck, you just want to screw counterclockwise. And this is a single coil RBA Dream. You can see there's your post screws. Airflow comes right up from underneath. Simple. This is the single coil RBA. There is a dual coil also that you can get. So depending on what you like, they have that covered too. This one reads out at like 0.8 ohms, I believe. So that's what I'm going to vape when I do this review. And I've already vaped it, and I'm telling you, it vapes really good. Tons of flavor, tons of vapor. So that's what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. So this screws right into the base. And you can do this with either the RBA section or the coils. It doesn't really make a difference. But this screws right in nice and snug. And then when this goes on, it screws down like that. And then the juice just goes into that crease right there and then feeds right up the juice channels. So let me show you this. So here is how this works. Awesome. All right, so here is the SMOK X-Cube 2. I'm going to screw the base with the RBA attached. I'll screw this right on. And we're going to quickly check to see if there are any hot spots. I'm just going to pinch this a little bit. Okay, so we're going to wick this and we're going to wet it. Alright, so our wick's about so. I like to cut this end a little bit so I can thread it through. And we're going to wick. So what you want is you want your cotton to sort of sit right flush with the bottom where the opening is for the channel. You don't want it to cover the channel. You want the channel to flow, but you want it to sit right on top there. Okay? Don't have too much, don't have too little, and it should wick really well. Keep it nice and fluffy, and it should keep up just fine. So let's get this wet a little bit. We're just going to pulse the coil just a little bit, just to suck that juice in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tuck right here. We're just going to tuck it right up under the lip, just so it's sitting here and it doesn't interfere with the threading when we screw the top back on. So when you're done, it should look something like this. Nice even dispersion, enough room for the juice to come up, but not so much that it floods. And then you want to take your cap, gently put it on, screw it on, and she's cooking. Okay, so then we're going to take our glass. Now if you wanted to remove your glass, you would just grab it, and it's press fitted, so you just pull it out and then grab the other one if it broke and put it back in again, because once you screw this onto the coil, that press fits this into place. So we're going to put this on, we're going to give it some pressure, and then we're going to spin clockwise until it's tight. Close off the airflow, open the top, And for this, we're gonna vape some Rainbow Sherbet in the Dark from the Grim Colt line. Use a dripper bottle just to squeeze the juice in, but I'm gonna use a syringe just to measure how much juice this holds, just to make sure. So I have 5 mils of juice here, and right in the top. And I'm not gonna speed this up just to show you how much you can fill. Boom. All the way up to the top. All right. So there you go. Once it's full, close off the top, make sure it snaps shut. Give it a couple primer pulls, open your airflow, and let it sit for a couple minutes just to make sure it's nice and saturated. And then we'll take it for a vape. If you're going to use the pre-made coil heads, you want to make sure you just drip some in there, get these nice and wet first before you use them, and let them sit in the juice for about 5 minutes to get them saturated. These are huge wicking coils, so you want to make sure they're wet. You don't want to dry hit them and waste them. All right, let's zoom out. All right, so we are back, and I have the RBA on here. It's wicked, it's wet, it's ready, and we're going to take it for a vape. So right now, the pre-built coil is rating 0.72 ohms. I have this SMOK X-Cube 2 set to normal mode, so it's not going to heat up the coil that fast. It's just the standard heat up time, and we're going to take it for a vape. It's at 40 watts and single coil. This is really making me question why I'm going so low with builds, because this thing throws massive clouds, has great flavor, great airflow. Here, let me show you. I'm going to turn it up even more. Well, the wicking, the juice channels are so big that I need to turn it up because it's just getting too wet. And I'm going to turn this to hard. All right, so it's on hard, 45 watts, 0.72 ohms. Now, I'm not even pulling that hard. I'm just sort of barely breathing in. And you just get a ton of vapor, ton of flavor. It is excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's go up to 50 watts. So 50 watts on hard, 0.72. Just luscious, flavorful clouds. If I could do the build again, I probably would have put a little more cotton over the opening. Since the wicking channel is so freaking big, I think I have it a little open because when I pull hard, I'm pulling juice up. So I would have probably stuffed the cotton, not into the hole, but covered it a little bit lower. All right. Other than that, though, it's actually keeping up too good. It's too much juice. So you're not gonna have a problem with going high wattage on any build really you want. Single coil, flavor, performance, excellent RBA, best yet in class. And we're gonna switch. So let's switch out this tank, and we're gonna pop on this one. This is the quad vertical coil, and this has already been vaped, so it's ready to go. And I'm gonna switch this to memory mode. Now filling this is just so super easy. You just put your little dripper bottle in here, squeeze away all the way up to the top. That's empty, which is nothing new for the Milkman. Close this off. Now, the Milkman does gunk up coils quick, but it's so freaking good, I don't care. So this is full, 140 watts, and let's take this for a vape. I would not vape this at 140 watts all day. My favorite spot for this is like 100. So there you go. The SMOK TFV4 finally, I think it's going to be arriving on store shelves this week. They fixed the top fill so it clicks shut. I think it's good. I don't know coil pricing, coil availability yet, but it should be soon. It's cloudy as hell in here right now, so it looks a little foggy on my end. Flavor's good. The coils wick well. They perform well. This is not for you budget vapors or you mouth-to-lung vapors or you vapors that want a small, light, tidy tank. This is a big, beastly machine of a tank that is for its purpose as clouds, and it fulfills that purpose in tremendous fashion. I get questioned all the time, what is my favorite tank? I cannot answer that question. I love so many tanks. My daily tank that I use is probably one of the most simple tanks, the Tube Tank Pro from Volcano. It's got smooth airflow, great flavor, great nickel coils, and it's my style of vaping. Even though it's not top fill, it doesn't have an RBA, but sometimes I like to come home and blow some clouds. So the TFV4 would be a great tank for that, for high wattage vaping. I'm interested to see the nickel coils if they come out, titanium coils if they come out for the X Pro 2, and that more will be revealed as time continues. If you want to win an X Pro, subscribe to my channel, because I am going to randomly be picking people who comment and subscribe to my channel in my giveaway video for the X Pro V2. 20,000 subscriber giveaway coming soon right here on the Vapor Chronicles. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a great day in the Vaporhood. More to come. Stay tuned. If you enjoy my channel, like, share, and subscribe today. Thanks a lot. If you love to vape, why don't you fight for your right to vape? Go to www.casaa.org.